Our good follower of the channel, Ryan Thompson, made a kind of backdoor request. He mentioned the fact he wanted to see me do something on We Will Kill You, and he mentioned that sliding Billy Hamilton was one of his favorite players as well from the 1800s. So it's a request and not a request. So Ryan, thanks a lot. Billy Hamilton, what a great player this guy was. A Hall of Famer, and he was considered one of the fastest players in MLB history. Now, William Robert Hamilton, an outfielder born in Newark, New Jersey, in the States, was nicknamed again Sliding Billy for his proficiency on the base paths. He was an American pro baseball player in Major League Baseball during the 19th century, early 20th century, for the Kansas City Cowboys, Philadelphia Phillies, and the Boston Beaneaters. He won the NL batting title twice and led the NL in stolen bases 5 times, eclipsing 100 on 4 occasions. He had over 400 in 1894 and set the major league record for a run scored in a season with 198. His 914 stolen bases ranks third all time, behind only Rickey Henderson at 1406 and Lou Brock with 938. A career 344 hitter, he was elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame in the class of 61 via the Veterans Committee. Now, again, his parents, Samuel and Mary Hamilton, had immigrated to New Jersey from Ireland. According to biographer Roy Kerr, there's evidence to suggest Hamilton was descended from the Ulster Scots people. As an adult, Hamilton was known to proudly proclaim his Scottish ancestry. When Hamilton was a small child, he moved to Clinton, Massachusetts. He worked in a cotton mill there as a young teenager. Now, he broke into major leagues in the American Association with the Cowboys in 1888. He established himself as a star the following season by batting .301 with 144 runs scored and 111 stolen bases. In 1890, the Cowboys, who were ceasing operations, sold Hamilton to the Phillies. The next year, he led the NL in batting average with .340, runs scored 141, and hits with 179. For the third consecutive season, Hamilton led the NL in stolen bases. In 1892, Hamilton hit both a leadoff and game-ending home run in the same contest. Vic Power, Darren Erstad, Reed Johnson, and Ian Kinsler are the only others who have accomplished the same feat. He hit .380 in 1893, which led to major leagues. Now, Philadelphia outfielders Hamilton, Thompson, and Neil Delahanty and Tuck Turner all hit over 400 in 1894. That year, Hamilton set the all-time standard for most runs scored in the season with 198. Since then, Babe Ruth has come closest to Hamilton in runs scored with 177 in 1921, setting the American League and modern MLB record. Hamilton also set the record for most stolen bases in one game with 7 on August 31st, 1894. He set the record for most consecutive games scoring 1 or more runs with 35 in 24 games in July and August of 1894. Now, he led the league in steals for the 5th time in 1895. In 1896, he moved his bat to Boston, for whom he played his final 6 seasons. Although his numbers declined, Hamilton still scored over 100 runs in all but 2 of those seasons. Now, when he retired after the 1901 season, over his career, again, he had compiled 912 or 937, depending on what statistics you look at, stolen bases, a .344 batting average, and 1,690 runs scored in 1,591 games. He is only one of 3 players who average more than a run per game played. His .455 career on-base percentage ranks him 4th all-time behind Ted Williams, Babe Ruth, and John McGraw. Heroes all. Now, he is the Phillies' career leader batting average with .361, on-base percentage with .468, and stolen bases .508. He holds Phillies single-season records for on-base percentage, .523 in 1894, runs with 196 in 1894, stolen bases, 111 in 1891, and times on base, 355 times in 1894. The best way to find him was on the base pads, as we say. Now, those stolen bases were credited differently during Hamilton's career than they are in modern times. He was very proud of his stolen base marks. In 1937, Hamilton lambasted the Sporting News in a letter he wrote to them stating, "I was and will be the greatest base stealer of all time. I stole over 100 bases on many years. If you ever recount the record, I will get my just reward." But I think that so much was given to Lou Brock and Maury Wells and Rickey Henderson for the modern records, but you can't stop somebody when all he does basically is know how to steal. Now, After his playing days ended, Hamilton managed several minor league teams in Pennsylvania and Massachusetts and served as a scout for the Boston Nationals. Unfortunately, he died on December 15, 1940, at his home at 6 Lucien Street in Worcester, Massachusetts. He was survived by his wife, Rebecca Carr Hamilton, 4 daughters, and 2 grandchildren. Now inducted in the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1961. And there was some controversy about this because a lot of people thought he was in the Baseball Hall of Fame, and 61 is an iconic year for Major League Baseball. When it came up, he wasn't in the Hall of Fame. Like the Maury Wills numbers were picking up, Manny Minosa, different base stealers, the Go-Go White Sox. I think that's why he got in, because they were trying to remedy it. But you can imagine he retired in 1901 and didn't get in the Hall of Fame until 60 years later with all the numbers he did. So either the press didn't like him or he didn't like them too much. Now, just to recap here, Major League debut, July 31st, 1888 for Kansas City. Last game, September 16 for the Beaneaters in 1901. 2,154 hits, 40 homers, 742 runs batted in, 912 stolen bases. Cowboys 88-89, Phillies 80-95, and the Beaneaters from 96 to 01. 2-time batting champion, 5-time stolen base leader, Philadelphia Phillies Wall of Fame, and MLB record for most runs scored in a single season. So we think about the modern Billy Hamilton because the guy with the Reds was a great player. Been a lot of great Hamilton athletes in different sports. But you might as well say he's the original Hamilton. All the great Hamilton actors as well. And I got a good friend who's an actor in the BC industry, Derek Hamilton. We have rugby players, different athletes. But he's the original Hamilton. Everything derives from this guy for putting Hamilton on the sports map as an elite player. So Slide Billy, this is for you. Thank you, Ryan Thompson, or as we call him on the channel, RTT. If you like what Ryan's doing and like what we're doing with different people requesting podcasts, because we are a request channel, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to forget your past, you don't look to the future. Even though, yes, it wasn't big stadiums and different type of equipment, but to steal so many bases like he did, only Lou Brock and Henderson. And the reason why Brock and Henderson and Hamilton did so well, they had durability. They were more than a decade at an elite level. To break numbers, you look at Ovechkin in hockey now, Pete Rose, Wee Willie Keeler, you look at Hank Aaron. They're not the greatest home run hitters of all time. In my opinion, Frank Howard was a better home run hitter than Henry Aaron and Willie Mays. That's just me. But look at Dave Kingman, not in the Hall of Fame, great home run hitter. It's durability leads to records. And you look at Wayne Gretzky, not the greatest goal scorer of all time, better playmaker. But if Bobby Hull would have been in the NHL all those years in the WHA, numbers combined, he'd be ahead of Gretzky. But longevity is the key. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you, again, requests that on the channel are highly, highly considered and highly, highly appreciated. Thanks for listening. Bye.